Good afternoon. This is Debbie Bratton, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from South Central Missouri. I'm on here today to do day 6 of my 12 Days of Christmas YouTube videos, or Facebook Live videos, and then I put them on YouTube because on Facebook you can only keep them for 30 days now. So, I look pretty straight today. Maybe just a tad off. We'll see, I moved it, so now it's probably going to be way off. Oh yeah, it is. We'll try that, then we might leave it alone. There we go. Now we're straight. It's a sunny but cold day here in St. Robert, Missouri. If you're watching, if you could hop on and let me know what kind of a day it is where you are at. We might be getting into the 50s by like Thursday, I think. But it is December, so we can't complain. So let's get started. I just think this is such a pretty card with all the real red and the gold. It just kind of really pops out. And on the inside, I put a little strip to match the design out here. And then it's the most wonderful time of the year. And I only had one more of these kind of gems left, so I put it on the inside. I put 3 out here and 1 on the inside just to use it up. And I didn't cut my strip for the envelope long enough, so I kind of put it on there and then cut the flap to match how long the strip was. So that's why that looks a little different. So let's see what all the goodies are we have in our envelope today. If you ever get classes from me, this is how it will come. Everything for this card will be in an envelope. We have the strip for the inside, the strip that I'm going to show you to cut for that part, some of this gold netting, the ribbon. And I don't know, I might have lost, there's like this little bitty square that goes inside the ribbon, and I know I put it in here, but I am not sure if it's still here. Oh, I guess I had 3 left for today for this card. I didn't realize I had already put them in the envelope. This is for our Mary. This comes from the Sentimental, let's see, what is it called? Sentimental Framing Dies. It's this smallest one here in the middle. These are just so pretty with the decorative edges that they add to your project. I used the swirly embossing folder just to give this piece of red a little texture. And then I guess these 2 are for the top and the bottom. So this must have been my envelope flap, but I didn't cut it long enough. And I cut a new one today, so we will just use the long enough one, and I'll save this for another day. This is the gold piece, and see, I saved paper by cutting my gold label out of the middle. And that's for the inside. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is to make my crease in my card. There we go. So now it will lay flat. And next we could take our 2 strips. You also save paper by doing this instead of putting down a whole card front piece and then adding on top of it. We just kind of put 1 at the top, 1 at the bottom, and we hid the lines with the gold. So, let's get these glued down. I didn't get to do any videos over the weekend. Saturday was gingerbread house and cookie day at Nana's. So I was very busy making cookies and gingerbread houses with the kids. And then Sunday was church and everything, so I didn't get one done on Sunday. Yesterday I had a doctor's appointment in St. Louis, which is 2 hours away, so that usually, the time I drive there, have the appointment, drive back, that usually takes care of my whole day. Next, we're going to add this piece of gold here. But I don't like to use the glue when I'm putting on foil because I always get it on my fingers, then I get it on the foil, and then I have a smear mark. So I'm just going to use some tear and tape quickly here. You could also use the Stamp and Seal. I just have tear and tape laying here, so that's what I'm going to use. My Picket tool. Have you got your Christmas shopping done? I was making out my list today. I keep a list of the names and then what I've got so I can kind of look at it and see what I still have. I would say I have 80% finished. Just a few more things I need to get. I don't really decorate around my house too much because I'm always traveling at Christmas. I go to Indiana to see my son and my daughter. So I will be there, which is usually what happens. So I don't really decorate because I won't even be here to enjoy the decorations. Now we're going to add this swirly piece here to the top. Hi, Anna. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, I'm going to use some tear and tape because I don't want to get glue on the foil. I just thought this red needed some kind of texture or something to stand out there in the background. I have this little trash can that I keep sitting here on the table that's on the side of me, so I can quit just taking off my strips and laying them and having to pick them up later. So I want to get this kind of even left to right, top to bottom, because you really only get one chance when you use tear and tape. There we go. Now we're going to stamp the Mary on here. And we're going to see how good we are at getting it right in the middle of that piece of paper. I have to find my real red. I still have my stamps pad sitting out with my all my Christmas colors that I've been using. It's just a matter of going through the stack and finding the real red. Oh, look, I found the little square for the bow. It's right there. That's very good. I was thinking I might not ever see that again. I want to get this straight here so that when I go to stamp it, what I like about the photopolymer stamps is that you can see through, so they're easier when you have to do something like this. I usually like to stamp and then cut, but I'm going to try to get, this is a pretty easy one-word thing. And I got it pretty good, maybe just a little bit too much to the left, but I'm good with it. And I'm going to add a strip of tear and tape to the back of here. Like I said, you could use the Stamp and Seal too. I just had my tear and tape laying right here, so I decided that's what I was going to use. Or if you're a person that can do the mono adhesive glue without getting it on the gold, then you could use that. It's a little piece of the tape showing there. Okay, so I'm going to center this top to bottom, left to right. On here, and then I see a few spots where it didn't quite poke out all the holes. There, now I have them. Okay, so now we're going to work on this little decoration we have down here for the label. So I want to put something here by the Y, so I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to put a piece of adhesive, of tear and tape, right here. I pick it off with my pick a tool. Now you can use this, I just call this like gold netting. I don't remember what the official name was. You could use this to tie a bow and stuff, but I decided let's just try laying it behind just to kind of give some texture. And so I need to trim it off a little. Get my ribbon scissors here. There we go. And now we have just a little bit of texture, and we're going to work with our bow that's cut out. But this is a pretty, a nice bow that you can use to cut out. Most times we just make our own bows with our ribbon, but since this came in the set, I thought we would try it. So I'm just going to put this part here. Now, if I did happen to lose that little square part, I could have used a rhinestone or a pearl or something for the middle, but I didn't lose it. So we are going to put it right here in the middle. If I can get it picked up here. Sometimes nails are not the best thing to have when you're making little things like this with your cards, but that worked out pretty good. So then I get it stuck to my finger and fling it across the board. All right. I love my glass mat so much because you can get glue on it, and then when I'm finished, I just get out my rubbing alcohol and clean the whole thing, and we're good to go again. I want that to dry a little bit. We're going to use a glue dot. My glue dots are not in the box. They're just laying here. And I'm going to take it off with my pick a tool so I can kind of curl it a little bit to make it smaller to fit the bow. And I'm going to put it right here on the corner of our label. I'm going to pick this up and put it on here like that. I think that looks very cute. Then we're going to pop this all up with dimensionals. My dimensionals. Oh, I forgot to write down the measurements for this card. I am doing another live at 2 o'clock Central Time, 3 o'clock Eastern Time to show you this little Christmas bag that's so easy to make. If you have some little gifts you want to give, or as a name placeholder for Christmas dinner, it's so fast and so easy. So I will write out the measurements for this when I do that video and hold up the paper so you can take a picture if you want. Okay, there we go. Now all we have is the inside, which I need an inside. hold on. You can see my desk. It is such a mess. I'm not even sure. I have a baggie. I sometimes, when I'm just watching TV at night or something, I'll just cut out insides for the cards and put them in a baggie. But right now my desk is kind of a mess, so I can't find my baggie. So I shall just cut a new set of insides. Excuse me. Oh, I have to clean my cutter too. I was making a whole bunch of those little Christmas bags for my gifts that to bring to St. Louis with me for my family, and so my cutter got some glue and stuff on it. I'm not even sure how that happened, but it happens. So I'm going to add this here. Now this strip is too long, but that way I can be sure that it's long enough. So I'm going to for sure line it up on this side, line it up on the bottom, and I know what I should have stamped my greeting before I glued this on in case I made a mistake. So now I'm just going to have to be sure to get the inside in my first try. So what words do we have? Let's see, I have some sitting here. This one says, thinking of you at Christmas time. So that sounds good. We'll do it in real red to match the rest of the card. And my dog likes to announce when my neighbors leave, when my neighbors come home. Anytime he hears any little noise lately, he's just on it. I like the font and everything in it. This is an old Christmas set. The Mary came from a new one called Traditional Labels. It goes with the Christmas tradition paper in the suite. And so that's where I got the Mary. Then we just have some jewels to put on. Let's see. I need to get out my other piece of putty because the putty I have right now is almost used up. And now I have it stuck to the glass neck. Oh, something is really got it wound up now, doesn't it? I have these other little things that I could use. And I'll put more putty on my Pick-a-Tool. I hear a car running out there, so I'm not sure exactly who or what is happening, but he guards the house. Might be like the UPS truck. I think I am expecting some packages today, so if he really gets to go, that means they came to the door. Now I'm going to find my Wink of Stella. And I could have did this ahead of time when I first laid down the swirly red, but I forgot. So I'm just going to add some sparkle to the back, to this piece right here. Okay. Then we just have to put this on the inside. And we will be finished with this card. Again, this is the Christmas Traditions paper and stamp set. I got the words from the traditional labels. It cuts out the little ribbon. It cuts out a lot of different labels for these words. So, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a good afternoon, and I will put this on the envelope before I mail it. Have a great afternoon. See you at 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern. And let's see, Mountain Time would be 1 o'clock and Pacific Time would be noon. Have a great afternoon. Bye.